Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Perseverance Mindset Podcast. And we want to welcome you back from your Thanksgiving break, and hopefully you spend some good time with family and friends. And thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night. We hope you do enjoy the show and scan the QR code on your screen to learn more. So for this week's weekly rewind, we are discussing some of the biggest stories of the week, and they are: the Trump transition team faces threats, RFK Jr. and his quest to make America healthy again, Chinese cruise ship suspected of sabotage, Thanksgiving air travel breaks record. So let's start with the Trump transition team and the threats they are facing. So as you all know, there was an election. One person won, the other lost. The winner is now President-elect Donald J. Trump, the Republican, after he defeated Kamala Harris, the Democrat, and current Vice President of the United States. Now, we all know this was said for months and months that this is the end of the world and our country as we know it. Well, that might be harder to prove following both Trump and Biden meeting at the White House, which turned many heads, and on how cordial both men were. I've not seen Biden smile like that in years, reaching over to Trump saying, "Welcome back, President-elect Trump," and I'll just leave it at that. But we have to get into what's happening at this moment during the transition. Many of Trump's cabinet picks under constant media assault and currently being threatened even before taking the job or even being confirmed. You have to notice the pattern here, folks. Here, there's always a pattern, and it's just crazy. You know, these folks are being picked by President-elect Trump after a huge win for the Republican Party, winning the White House and having pretty hefty majorities in both the House and the Senate. Now, two long-established Democrats in my area, Bob Casey and Matt Cartwright, look him up. They're in my state, lost their seat to folks who never served in government before. And in my opinion, that's a good thing. You're on your 18th, your 20th, your 30 years in government. It's time to go and find something else. And a majority of the folks feel the same way today. Now, RFK Jr. and his quest to make America healthy again. If you're unaware of the Kennedy in the business of politics, that's right. I consider it a business. It's long past being a point of public service. I hope I can change my stance one day, but I'm speaking frankly to you. I don't dumb down my audience, and we don't dumb down what we tell our audience. We're here for the information, not hearsay. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr., long-established environmental attorney, health advocate, wants to make America healthy again, but we all know this isn't going to be an easy task at all. He, like Trump, has faced assassination attempts at his home, at events in the past, and this firestorm is only going to increase. If you think Big Pharma and Big Food are going to welcome him with open arms and give him a big hug and a kiss, you're dreaming. He wants to make kids and our citizens healthier again. Try explaining that into a boardroom, guys. Well, hey, we had a good run. Now we need to take, our profits. The profits have to take a hit just for what's best in the country. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. I sincerely hope he does, and I wish him well in his mission. People are talking about taking this to the forefront, about what RFK actually meant. And he was bringing about these issues with Big Pharma and what the chemicals in our foods. And it's being discussed. It's truly inspiring for us to see that some of the obesity rates in America from children 2 to 5 are 12.7%, from 6 to 11 years old, 20.7%, 12 to 19 years old, 22%. 1 in 3 children will experience obesity at some point in their life, as a study just came out. We can't wait another decade, a generation. We have to take care of this now. And off to our good friends, China, as a ship from the Chinese Communist Party is suspected of dragging an anchor over 100 miles to damage Baltic cables. Let's just say they aren't. This is nothing new. You have to give them credit. You have to give them credit again. As I always say, I'm not picking on them. They're spending years stealing our intellectual information, our intellectual property, American business information, hacking into getting access both to the Harris and Trump presidential campaigns, accessing U.S. court wiretap systems, flying multiple balloons over the target and targeting U.S. surveillance areas now. What are our friends up to this week? They're accused of dragging an anchor for 100 miles in a plan to cut the Baltic cables. I have the article here. Chinese commercial vessel has been surrounded by European warships in international waters for a week. That's rich. And is central to an investigation suspected of, you got it, sabotage. You can't make this stuff up, and if you did make this stuff up, it wouldn't be as interesting as the real thing. And it's just threatening to test the maritime line height of tensions between Beijing and European countries. I just don't know what else I could say about that at this point. More attempts to gain information illegally, increase strategic moves on a chessboard, which has always been the goal of China. Or is this just a rush to get something else done or to kick off something else before President Biden leaves office and then Trump gets back into the Oval Office? We'll just have to wait and see. And topping off an end to our weekly rewind is that many of you may have took time off for Thanksgiving, had to travel by plane, train, automobile, just like the movie. It's a good movie, by the way, as well. But air travel for the upcoming week for Thanksgiving going into Christmas has reached all-time highs and records, according to the TSA officials. That it officially marked its 10th busiest day of 2024. Nearly half of Americans plan to travel between Thanksgiving and mid-January, and leading those purchases are high-income households and young folks ramping up those plane ticket purchases. Less than 0.5% of planes scheduled were canceled, which is a much better improvement compared to seeing some of the chaos we've seen over the last few years. Might have something to do with the recent refund fees when a plane is late, doesn't show, or excessively late. And of course, that's a great thing. And also reporting that trains from Philadelphia to New York at some points on Thanksgiving, had problems with wires, with down wires and other issues, again, to be expected, but is just happening more and more. Some folks, it was noted that folks hopped on a local bus to get to their destination or to get back home or to go back to their schools if you weren't virtual. Some students, let's just say some students didn't make it back for their first classes after break. I feel for those students. It's tough coming back enough without having issues coming back to actually get you back home or to your dorm. And that is our weekly rewind for this week. Please scan the QR code on the screen to learn more, or look us up on Facebook, X, TikTok. We have it all. So until next time, have a great night, folks.